So there are approximately 4,500 degree granting institutions in the US. So there is always a university for everyone. You wouldn't be the first person to study abroad. Probably in your family, yes. So take the move today. You will not be the first person to get a scholarship. There is a school you want to apply to. People have already applied to that university and then they are studying there. So your current financial circumstance, your current CGPA, or your current grades shouldn't discourage you. You just have to know how to go about it. My name is Fred. This is the biggest study abroad content platform. And every weekend, we have what we call the Study Abroad podcast. Here is the reason. I know that people have already gone through the process that you want to go through. So what I do is to invite them to share their experience, their process, their journey, and how they did it so that you can easily do it. Today, we are privileged to have somebody within the administration of Fort Hays State University to talk us through how he was able to study abroad from where you are from, and now he being part of the admissions team. How do they expect you to put in the application so that you end up getting the admission you're looking for, you end up achieving your study abroad dream? Remember to tell somebody that the Fred Effect is on. Just tune in. We are live on the Fred Effect YouTube channel. We are live on Facebook. We are also live on TikTok. If you're watching us on TikTok, shout out to you. We are live on X as well as Instagram. Be part of the biggest family, and let's get started. Remember, in course of the program, I would have you come on. If you have any questions for my guest, he'll be willing and happy to respond to your questions. So share this and let somebody else tune in. Hi, Doc. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Fred.
So
Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Where I'm from, when we say somebody is a doctor, it means that the person is a medical doctor and he takes care of patients. What is your doctor about?
Well, I'm not a medical doctor. My doctorate degree is in educational leadership, and I got that from Western Kentucky University. And basically, my major was essentially focused on international education in the administration level. So I focused my dissertation on how to lead, higher education institutions in the international offices. So yeah, I'm not a medical doctor.
So I know I've been to Western Kentucky University before. It's in Bowling Green, correct?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So normally, what I do is to let people know some of the universities we are talking about. So I'm going to share my screen. So this is the website of Western Kentucky University, and people confuse it to another Bowling Green in Ohio.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's true.
So this is where you got your doctorate. That's awesome. Let's talk about your background. Where are you from originally? And what sparked your interest to first of all start the process of wanting to study abroad?
All right. So I'm from Burkina Faso. It's in West Africa. We share borders with Ghana.
Ghana. Yeah.
Yes. Before coming to the United States, I was an English teacher. I taught English in high schools for about 7 years, and
Okay.
uh, and my first experience in the United States, I would say, was in California in 2016. I was privileged to participate in a program called Fulbright TEA, Teaching
Okay.
Excellence and
Mhm.
Achievement. It's a professional development program. So I came to the US for the first time in 2016 at California State University, Chico. And I stayed there for 6 weeks, developed my teaching skills, went back home, and shared my experiences with my colleagues. And then in 2018, I started looking for opportunities, to further my education and get a master's degree. So I started applying. There's a scholarship program between the Japanese government and some African countries as well.
Okay.
It's called the Kobe Scholarship. I started applying for that scholarship, and I think I was doing well in the process. And then they also launched the Fulbright Scholarship Program, which is a very well-known program. I think it's one of the most prestigious scholarships in the world.
Yeah.
It provides fully funded, tuition scholarships, to students who are selected to participate in the Fulbright program. So when they launched the program, the U.S. Embassy of Burkina Faso, I decided to apply for that scholarship as well. And I was somehow a little bit confident that I could do good in that application, because I already knew the process of applying to those kind of programs and getting selected. So I applied and then gave up on the COBE scholarship process. Then I was contacted by the US Embassy to go for what is called the I think test of English language proficiency. We went through that process, and then they eliminated a lot of people. Burkina Faso is a French-speaking country, and right at that level, many people eliminated because they don't have that English language skills. So after the English test, we went for an interview at the US Embassy, still with the Fulbright Commission. And I passed that process as well, took the TOEFL test, got a decent score to be accepted in some universities in the United States. So the bottom line is that I was selected as a Fulbright scholar. And then what happens is, once you're selected as a Fulbright scholar, the students do not have to choose a university where they want to go. There's the Institute of International Education, IIE, that submits your application to 5 different universities. And if you are accepted in some of those universities, they are the ones who make the decision. IIE makes the decision to place you in one of the universities that accepted you. So I was accepted in 3 different universities. And IIE chose to place me at the University of Southern Indiana. That's in Evansville, Indiana.
All right.
So I went there, and
before you continue, Indiana is one of the cool places, to be, right? I want to share. Normally, I just want people to understand that people who have gotten the opportunity to study abroad are not bigger than them. So when we mention some of these schools, I wanted to, expose it to them so that they get to know about them. So we are here to talk about Fort Hays State University, but I'm glad that you have an experience of a lot of Africans watching us right now who want to be in the same position you are. So that's why I started a conversation from there. So you spoke about the first university you came to, which is University of California at Chico, right? So this is their website. If you're watching us, this is also a great university. What can you say about this school?
Oh, it's a lovely campus, very nice people. It's located in a small town, about 100,000 people. That's the population of Chico.
Right.
It's about 2 hours away from San Francisco.
Yeah.
People are very nice, friendly in the community in Chico. And they have some very solid programs as well. So that's when I participated in the professional development program. I stayed there just for 6 weeks, and then went back and came back. And went to... Yes, go ahead.
So I need you to get your pens and papers ready. This is a session that you watch that you have to be taking notes. Write the names of some of these universities down. When we finish with a session, you can go and do your own search on the website. Find a program you're interested in, because people have been able to study there. International applicants like you, like my brother I'm talking to now, was able to go there. You can also. So you also spoke about the school that finally got you to start your the scholarship you were awarded, which is the
Fulbright.
The Fulbright scholarship. So this is University of Southern Indiana. I have stayed in Indiana for some time now, and it's a cool state to be in. So talk to us. What did you study at this university?
So my program at the University of Southern Indiana was in public administration. I got my master's degree. Yeah, in public
I also studied public administration at University of Kentucky. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
Awesome. Yeah, I did public administration. So I graduated recently and I'm moving on. Awesome. Good to know that. So you hold an MPA before the EDD.
Yes, an MPA before the EDD. So you went to the University of Kentucky.
Yeah. I studied MPA over there.
Oh, okay, great.
Awesome.
Well, I
Okay.
was also accepted at the University of Kentucky actually for my doctoral program, but that's
Okay.
going to be a long story. I
Okay.
decided to stay at Western Kentucky University. So yeah, I'm very familiar with UK as well.
Right. So, University of Southern Indiana, you studied MPA over there, and that was for your Fulbright scholarship.
Mhm.
And which
Correct.
other schools? So you mentioned that the embassy applied to other schools, so you got accepted into 3 other schools. So apart from University of Southern Indiana, which other university were you admitted into, if you know that?
Yes, I know them. I was accepted in a private university in Vermont. It's called
Okay.
St. Michael University or St. Michael College,
Okay.
St. Michael in Vermont. And then I was also accepted at Kansas State University. It's in Manhattan, Kansas. So
Okay.
those are
So
the 3 universities I was accepted into.
let me quickly show the website so people can know what we are talking about. So this is St. Michael's College. It's located in the state of Vermont. If Vermont is not really popular for a lot of people listening to us in Africa, so Vermont. That's another state in the US. It's called Vermont, and that is where St. Michael's College is located. We are mentioning the name of the schools. It might be the first time you're hearing about it. You write it down, go and research. And then you also spoke about a university in Kansas.
Yes, Kansas State University in Manhattan, Kansas. That's a R1 university. It's located in a small town, Manhattan.
So did you have the opportunity to select, like, which university you want to eventually go to?
As I said initially, I did not apply to any of those schools myself. IIE did it. And they are the ones who also chose to place me at the University of Southern Indiana. And they have some reasons why they do that. They look into the support system that the university will provide to the incoming Fulbright students in terms of additional funding. Are they going to sponsor, for example, housing? Are they going to provide some sort of meal? And they also looked into the cost of living in the city where the university is located. So then they reached out to me and said, we have chosen the University of Southern Indiana. And I was like, okay, I would go. But I could have said, why not go to St. Michael or Kansas State, and they could accommodate. But I just wanted to, let them make a choice for me, and I would go wherever they place me and find out for myself.
If somebody listens to you, they wouldn't know you speak French as well. So you had your bachelor's degree in a French-speaking country. Was your transcript in French or it was in English? And did you have to translate it or maybe work on transcript evaluation?
So I went to the University of Ouagadougou. Well, it used to be called the University of Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso.
Right.
Now it's Université Joseph Kizerbo. And everything, all the documents provided by that institution are in French. So in the application process, I had to get my transcripts, my degrees, everything translated from French into English.
Awesome. So if you are listening to us from anywhere in Burkina Faso, I'm sure there are a lot of young people who want to be in your position and listening to us in Burkina Faso. This is how you go about it. Now, let's talk about, you are done with your MPA at Indiana. When next did you move to? Because a lot of people are aware that, for the scholarship, when you're done with your master's, it means that you need to go back to Ouagadougou or you need to go back to Burkina Faso. How did it happen for you?
So yes, one of the requirements with the Fulbright program is that once you complete your degree program, you are supposed to return to your home country before coming back, but only for immigration purposes. If you're planning to change your status from student visa to permanent residency or employment and so on and so forth, then you need to go back to your home country and then return 2 years later for you to be able to apply for a change of status.
Right.
But
and before you proceed, your scholarship was such that were you on F1, M1, or J1?
It was a J1 scholarship.
Okay, so it was a J1 visa.
Yeah.
Awesome.
J1 visa. And yeah, as I said, one of the requirements is that you go back and then return. That is only if you want to work or stay in the United States permanently and so on and so forth. But since I was moving from, the Fulbright scholarship at the University of Southern Indiana to another degree, a doctoral degree back then, Fulbright accepted to just transfer my CVs to from USI to Western Kentucky University. And back then, one of the requirements, they wanted to make sure that I had some scholarships from Western Kentucky before they could transfer. Because although I was able to sponsor my tuition for the first year, because that's the requirement from most universities, you show a bank statement showing that you have enough funding to pay for your tuition and pay for the cost of living for at least 1 year. I was able to do that, but Fulbright required that I also secured some additional scholarships from the university, Western Kentucky. And fortunately, Western Kentucky was also able to find me a decent scholarship. So the transfer from USI to Western Kentucky was an easy process, simply because I got a decent scholarship from Western Kentucky as well.
So in that case, were you moving from J1 to F1, or you were still on J1?
I still stayed on J1 from USI to Western Kentucky University.
But this time around, the school is funding you and not Fulbright.
Yes.
Awesome.
Correct.
All right. If you're just tuning in, I'm speaking with Dr. Fatin. I don't know if I pronounced your name right.
Yes, Dr. you're saying Fatin. It right.
Right. Okay. Correct. So I'm speaking with Dr. Fatin. Dr. Fatin works with Fort Hays State University. We are going to have a conversation about it. But what makes this conversation different is he has had an experience as an international student. So if you're watching us, this is somebody who has gone through the mill. So he understands the system and in how things are done. And now he happens to be in the administrative position at Fort Hays State University. Let's talk about your program at Western Kentucky. So now you are, was it a PhD or EDD? And a lot of people are different, are confused about that. What's the difference? Do I go for PhD or EDD?
Yeah, that's a good question. My program was EDD, educational, Doctor of Education. Yeah. And I would say the difference between a PhD and an EDD is that a PhD is focused on research, and typically you go into a PhD program if you want to become a professor. You wanna do research and teach. EDD typically is for people who want to be in an administrative role, and that's how I'm working today as an administrator at the University of the Fort Hays State University.
Fort Hays State University. You've had a lot of experiences with different universities, right? So let's talk about, because you've mentioned a lot, and now currently you find yourself working in a lot. How many states have you been to, though?
Oh, I've visited
almost everywhere.
Not yet, but that's the plan. So far, I've visited 27 states.
Wow.
27 states. So yeah, and when I first came for the Fulbright program, the first university they placed as a cohort, a group, was at Michigan State University.
Oh, okay, in Ann Arbor.
East Lansing.
Okay.
Michigan State, East Lansing.
State. Okay.
Yeah, so we stayed there for I think 3 weeks. Yes, 3 weeks. Just to acclimate ourselves with the American educational system, graduate education in the United States, how to write academic papers. So we had a brief training at Michigan State University, and then everybody went to the different universities.
Right. Since you mentioned Michigan State, I just want to bring it up. So this is the website of Michigan State University. Remember, it's different from University of Michigan. A lot of people confuse some of those things. So University of Michigan is located in Ann Arbor. Maybe if I can pull the website, I can. But this is Michigan State University is located in a city called East Lansing, and that's what he's talking about now. So what has been your favorite state so far?
I love California. My first encounter was California, but
Right.
yeah, for international students, California is a very expensive state.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
the cost of tuition, cost of living, housing is very expensive.
Yeah.
But it's a beautiful state, very nice people, very nice weather. But if you're coming with some limited resources and you don't have decent scholarships, paying tuition and paying housing and food and so on and so forth, it can be very costly to live in California. But
Awesome.
I'm currently at Fort Hays State University. I love it here. It's in a small town, very affordable. I know that we'll get the chance to deep dive into the conditions here in Hays. But yeah, it's a pretty small town and very affordable, nice people as well.
Awesome. So if somebody is hearing about Fort Hays State University for the first time, and before we start with that, when I googled Fort Hays State University, it says that it has an acceptance rate of about 88%. Does this apply to undergraduate studies or it applies to graduate studies?
I would say both. It applies to all of the above, undergrads and graduate students.
All right. Before we talk about Fort Hays, if you visit the website of Fort Hays State University, this is what you see. And I want to say shout outs to the person who made this interview happen. So shout outs to my brother Samuel. So he's a graduate assistant. Samuel Martin, shout outs to you. He made this interview to happen. And of course, Dr. Fatin can be seen here as the Global Affairs Academic Partnership Coordinator. So talk to us about Fort Hays State University if somebody's hearing about it for the first time.
So Fort Hays State University is located in the state of Kansas. Kansas is in the Midwest of the United States. And the university was founded in 1902. So we've been around for quite a long time, more than a century now. And one thing that we are proud here at Fort Hays State University about is the affordability of our tuition. We provide high quality education at a very affordable cost. For example, everything that we require from an undergraduate student is about $27,000. $27,000, that includes everything: cost of tuition, cost of living, health insurance, meals, and so on and so forth. And for graduate students, it's about $26,000, including everything. And if you compare that amount of money to some other universities, you will find out that $27,000 is just for tuition in some other universities. And one other positive thing about Fort Hays State University is, as I was mentioning, it's located in a small town called Hays. It's about 25,000 people that live in the city. It's a very safe community. I usually tell parents when I travel, to meet with students and parents abroad, I tell them that I can sometimes go to work without locking my doors and come back and find everything in place. And that's not the case in most cities in the United States. I remember when I was living in a different state at some point, I went to the gym one evening, came home, left my shoes at my door, was some nice Nikes, and I went to sleep. And the morning I woke up and found that they were gone.
Wow.
That does not happen here. And also issues related to gun violence, drugs, and so on and so forth. The stuff that people usually see about the United States on social media and on TV. We also see those things on social media and on TV here in Hays. As I said, it's a very safe community, and the cost of living is relatively affordable as well.
All right. So if you are just listening to us after this session, of course, we are going to talk to about the admission, the scholarships, and all that. And I like something about the scholarship. So you could practically be able to know how much of scholarship you will be awarded if you are able to just put in your SAT scores and then your your CGPA. So, for example, if I should choose an SAT or ACT scores here about 1,500 to 1,600, and then I type in my CGPA, let's say 3.4, 3.9, then automatically I get to know how much of scholarship I'll be awarded for undergrad. Let me understand. Does it apply to only domestic students, or this applies to international students?
I would say that is typically for domestic students, but we do have some scholarships for international students as well. Basically, very few of them. The Staff First Scholarship. We also have the Rotary Scholarship, and those are allocated to students based on certain number of criteria, your GPA, and also your involvement on campus and off campus. We do not require ACT scores for our international students. As I said, based on their GPA and also their involvement on campus. And one advice that I would give to the people who are listening to us is that when you come to Fort Hays State University or anywhere in the United States, I typically tell students not to be what I call a triangular student. And a triangular student for me is somebody who goes from their dorms to the classroom, from the classroom to the restaurant, they eat, and then they go from the restaurant back to their dorms. Those are not the places where you meet people, where you make significant connections that could be beneficial for you in terms of your career, and also even in terms of your academic career and professional career. Universities pay close attention to students who are involved on campus. And there are hundreds of student organizations on campus that host different kind of events every day on weekends. We want to see students who participate, who take leadership roles. For example, if you're coming from Ghana or from Burkina Faso or anywhere in Africa, anywhere from around the world, if you're watching, join a club that meets some of your needs, that can help you grow as an individual. Take some leadership responsibility. Samuel, that you mentioned, is from Ghana, and he's, for example, the president of the African student, no, not the African, but the International Student Organization here at Fort Hays State University.
Shout out to organization
includes, students from all over the world, and he has a graduate assistantship position that pays portion of his tuition. Those are the type of individuals that universities look for. It's good to focus on your study, secure 4.0, but that is not enough for you to get you decent scholarships to cover your tuition fully sometimes.
Awesome. So there are undergraduate programs as well as graduate programs. Do you want to talk about it? What are some of the popular programs at Fort Hays State University? And then we come to the admission processes.
Okay. We have hundreds of degree programs, and can I share the link of our majors and minors, and then I can talk about some popular programs that we have here. So at the undergraduate level, I would say one of our most popular programs is in the business department. Our business program is very popular.
Okay.
We also have programs in education, political science, computer science, very popular programs. We actually have partnerships with some universities in Africa, and most of the students come to our business program, our computer science program. We also have programs in petroleum geology and geology in general. Countries like Senegal that have kind of recently discovered some reserves, oil reserves, are sending a lot of students to that petroleum geology program for them to gain the required skill for them to be able to successfully exploit the natural resources. We have programs in education as well. We have hundreds, as I said, hundreds of programs, and I just shared the link with you.
Right. Awesome. Let's talk about the graduate programs as well. A lot of people watching us are done with bachelor's degree, and some have masters, and then they are interested in the graduate programs. So walk us through. So we have the arts and humanities, and before we go to that, it states clearly here that for graduate programs, you must have earned bachelor's degree with a minimum of 2.5. Explain this to us. Is it like, from my first year, most undergraduate programs are 4 years. So I have 2.5 out of 4.0 from Africa. Is that what specifically this means? Or is it looking at only my third year and fourth year CGPA? Kindly explain this to us.
It's your GPA at the completion of your program. Once you complete your program, the required GPA, and you're talking about arts and humanities. So the requirements vary, at the graduate level, depends on the program that you're willing to study.
Right.
Some programs would require a minimum of a 3.0. Some would be fine with a 2.5. But that GPA is the GPA that you had once you completed your undergraduate program, not just the third and fourth year, but the overall GPA.
So you mentioned Samuel, and Samuel is into a graduate program. As an African, do you know some other international students who are from Africa pursuing? What programs are they into?
Yes, we do have. We have international students from close to 60 different countries. And our biggest international student population is China. So we have a lot of Chinese on campus. And then the second largest international student population at Fort Hays State University is students from Africa. So after China, is the African students that are the second largest international student population here. And students come from Ghana. We have a lot of students from Ghana. We have students from Nigeria. We have a lot of students from Senegal as well, a French-speaking country, because we have a partnership in that country. We have students from Cote d'Ivoire. We have students from Cameroon, Kenya, Madagascar. We have our first student from Burkina Faso will be joining us next semester. So yeah, we have many different African countries that are represented here at Fort Hays State University. So if you're coming from Africa, you will definitely find a community here. You won't feel alone. You will probably meet somebody who is from your country and you can connect with them. But as I said, we also encourage students, to get out of their comfort zone. Do not just stick with students from Ghana. Meet other people from China, from Germany, and so on and so forth. That's how you build a solid network that can be beneficial at some point in your life.
I'm speaking with Dr. Fatin, originally from Africa, Burkina Faso, very close. We share borders with Ghana, and he is currently on the admission side or the international admission side of Fort Hays State University. Fort Hays State University is located in the state of Kansas, and is in a very academic community, and you would enjoy it if you should look at. So we are going to go through the admission steps one after the other. Remember, all this information is located on the university's website, and I'm sharing as much as I can. This is a one-man production, so I'm doing the computer thing and I'm asking the questions at the same time. Later on, I will be sharing the link so you can join in. Have you applied to Fort Hays? Are you willing to apply? What questions do you have for my guest? And then he'll be happy to respond to them. Now let's go through the admission for international students one after the other. Of course, there's an opportunity to choose a program, but if you're an international student, remember, you are not eligible to apply to the online programs. Or, Dr. Fatin, are international students supposed to apply to online programs?
Yes, they can also apply to our online programs. FHSU is actually one of the best schools in the United States in terms of online education. So we allow that. FHSU Online is very popular, as I said, one of the top online programs in the whole country in the United States.
But this means that the person would have to be in their country to study, not necessarily allow them to get a visa, right?
Yes. So as an international student, if you want to go fully online, you cannot do that in the US. You cannot get a visa to come to the US and study fully online. That's not allowed. You can do it only from outside the United States. But if you want a visa and travel to the United States, then you have to be enrolled in the in-person programs at Fort Hays State University.
All right. This is interesting. And I think I've not seen this on any university's website. There is actually a video tutorial on how to step-by-step complete the application. So there is completing the application video, creating an account if you don't know how to do that, if you're new. So this is this is awesome. Shout outs to the admissions team at Fort Hays State University. I've not seen this anywhere. I don't know if you have. Have you seen this on any university website?
I haven't.
No,
And yeah, thank you.
I have not. This is awesome. So shout outs to the team. So if you are creating an account, how do you do it? There's a step-by-step process. How do you even log into your accounts? Remember, when you create an account, you don't necessarily have to complete the application at the sitting. So you can log in, log out later on, continue. How do you navigate to the dashboard and uploading your document? So there's a step-by-step, process. I love this. I love this. So big up to shout out to the admissions team. So the first step here is to be able to select a program that you want, either an online, that is if you want to stay home and do it, but if you want to come to the US, you have to select an on-campus program, and it's into arts, humanities, and social sciences. There is business and entrepreneurship section. There's also health and behavioral sciences and science and technology. So there's always a program for everybody. So if you click on the health and information, health and behavioral sciences, for example, you can see a master's in biology. There's chemistry, computer networking, computer science, cybersecurity, digital cinema studio, geosciences, information assurance management. That's it. So if you have to click on each section for you to know the specific programs that you can apply to. So if you want to study your application, there's a tutorial video to take a look at. Let's talk about the application fee. Is it an opportunity to waive, or everybody would have to pay?
I would say everybody would have to pay.
The fact you have to try and get us a waiver, at least for my audience. We should get a waiver, right?
Well, we can discuss that. We can discuss that with our team and see how it goes. But it's also relatively affordable. So $50 application fee. Which is, again, very affordable compared to some other universities that would ask you for hundreds of dollars.
Yeah,
but yeah, we can definitely discuss that and see if there's a possibility to waive that for your guest, Fred.
The application deadlines, June 1st for fall semester. And if you're listening to us, fall semester means that your program will be starting in August 2025, if you're watching us in 2025. So does this differ according to program, or every program is June 1st for international students?
Every program, there's no difference. And the reason why we do that, we set those deadlines, is to give students, enough time to secure an appointment at the U.S. Embassy in their home countries, to get a visa and be able to travel and start their classes on time. So that applies to every single major, every international student, no exception.
All right. So we are currently shooting this video or recording this video in January. You have until June 1st to still submit your application to, Fort Hays State University. There's still time. You are not late. And then for spring semester, which begins normally in January, the deadline is going to be November 1st. So if you're not able to meet up for the fall semester, there's an opportunity for spring, but there's no, a summer start. So talk to me about the deadline.
October.
Okay. Go ahead.
The spring semester that you mentioned, it's instead of November, it's October 15th.
Awesome.
The deadline, the deadline for the spring semester is October 15th, and for those planning to come in the fall, meaning August, the deadline to submit all your application documents is June 1st. What was the question?
If I'm an international student and I want to apply, what should be my first point of contact? Should I email the international office? Should I email my department? Who should I talk to first before I start my application, Doctor?
I would say, depending on your program, if you're planning to come as an undergraduate student, then you can reach out to the International Admission Office. But if you're planning to come as a graduate student at the master's level or doctoral level, and we do have very few doctoral programs here at Fort Hays State University, it's good to reach out to somebody in your department, typically your department chair, or we also have coordinators from, for different programs. For example, if you're planning to come for the MBA program, we have an individual that is in charge of coordinating that specific program. So you can reach out to those individuals. And as for any kind of questions you might have, any kind of assistance you might need. For graduate students, if you're looking for assistantships, graduate assistantship, and a graduate assistantship in the US at Fort Hays State University is some sort of scholarship that pays portion of your tuition. So you will be working for a department. You can be recruited to work as a graduate teaching assistant, and you'll help a teacher teach, grade papers, and so on and so forth. Or you can be in an administrative role where you work with a specific department and help them take care of their daily business, and then they pay you monthly. You get a monthly stipend, and you also get some scholarship to pay towards your tuition. For graduate students, it's always good to reach out to the department chair if you're interested in serving as a teaching assistant or as a graduate assistant at the administrative level, and ask for the positions that will be available, that will be open, and they can help you go through. And if you identify a professor that works on a specific topic that you are interested in, that you would also like to investigate, reach out to that professor, let them know that you've read their papers, their publications, and you are also interested in conducting research on that specific topic, and you would be pleased to work under the guidance and so on and so forth. And typically, that's the good way, to secure assistantships, scholarships before you even go for your visa interview. So, those are individuals that you should definitely stay in contact with.
Awesome. So, Dr. Faxon, in most African countries, there's something that we call diploma or higher national diploma. Normally, instead of the 4 years or 8 semesters of a bachelor's degree, that one is 6 semesters or 3 years. With a 3-year, sort of undergraduate qualification, is it possible to directly get admission into Fort Hays State University?
Absolutely. And are you asking if they want to come for a master's program from the 3-year degree in their home countries?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. That definitely works. And as you mentioned, in most African countries, that's how it is. A bachelor program lasts 3 years. I have a 3-year bachelor degree from the University of Ouagadougou, and I came straight to a master's program. I didn't need to take any additional course. So with the 3-year degree, they can definitely come directly to a master's program.
Let's answer Asida's question. Dr. Faxon, Asida means thanks. That's the translation in the Ghanaian language. So her name is thanks. That's what it means. Or thank you, one of them. Anyway, so she is asking if Fort Hays accept evaluation, and that's what I want to talk about. So on the website, it says that you submit your transcript evaluation, and there are companies stated here: World Evaluation Service West, and then Spantran. There is International Education Evaluations, Educational Credential Evaluators. My question is that so to answer your question, Asida, yes, Fort Hays accept transcript evaluation. My question is that when, for example, you complete the WES evaluation, does WES have to directly send the transcript to Fort Hays State Admissions, or if you have the the official copy, can you upload it in the application portal?
No, what we require is that WES send us directly your evaluated transcript. We do not accept students uploading their transcript by themselves, because we've seen a lot of frauds. So to avoid that, we ask students to send their transcript to WES, one of those evaluation companies, and then ask them to send the evaluated transcript directly to our admission office, and then we can proceed with the revision of the applications.
So I know, like a company like Spantran, a lot of universities have affiliation. So if you go through the university, the cost is reduced. Does Fort Hays affiliate with Spantran, or the student have to do it separately?
We do have a partnership with Spantran, and awesome. We do have that.
Okay, so if so this is a trick for you. So I'm still on the admissions website, so that we are going through the documents one after the other, and Dr. Faxon is guiding us to go through. So if you click on Spantran, it takes you directly to Spantrans, affiliation to Forte State University. So when you go through this website to evaluate your transcript, remember the cost is reduced because you're going through this website. If you go directly to the Spantran website, you're going to pay a little bit more than that. So this is a trick you have to keep in touch. Let's talk about English proficiency requirement. If somebody is from an English-speaking country, Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Gambia, do they have to still write the IELTS, the TOEFL, the Duolingo, and all that?
The answer to that is no. If you're coming from an English-speaking country, we do not require an English language proficiency score. No.
So do you take it as because maybe I wrote, for example, English in my high school final exams, it's okay, or I still have to submit an English proficiency letter so that the proficiency exams will be waived?
No, we know that if you're coming from Ghana, from Nigeria, from Kenya, we know that the educational system there in those countries use English as the medium of education. So you do not need to submit any additional letter stating that you've been educated in English and so on and so forth. We know about those countries. We know about the educational system, and we do not ask for additional justification on why you should be exempt from providing an English proficiency score.
Okay. My next question is about the recommendation. Do you accept soft copies uploaded, or you require applicants to put in their the details of their recommenders and a link sent directly to the recommenders to recommend them?
Both are accepted.
Okay.
You can provide your recommenders' email address, and then the university will send them emails directly for them to send also directly the recommendation letters, or you can reach out to your recommenders and ask them for letters. They send them to you, and then you go on the website and upload it by yourself. Those are accepted. The only thing that is not accepted directly from students are the transcripts, as I said, and also the language scores for those who are watching from Francophone speaking countries. We do not accept you taking, for example, the TOEFL test or the IELTS or Duolingo and then uploading your score by yourself. As for those institutions that provide the test, to send directly your score to Forte State University.
Okay, this is something I love, and a lot of people want to do that. And I think this is the cheapest I've seen so far. So when you get admission to Forte State University, remember, if you have a spouse, if you have a dependent, you can come along with them. But you need to provide a financial statement. And it says that if you have a dependent, like a child, you just have to provide a bank statement showing $2,000. Awesome. And then if you have a spouse, it's supposed to be 4,000 in addition to the statement you the financial statement you are submitting. Does Forte accept company bank statement? Does it have to be the bank statement of the student themselves, or it has to be maybe a parent? What are there restrictions on these?
No, there's I would say there's no restriction, and the bank statement does not have to come from just one individual. It doesn't have to be a bank statement from the student himself or herself.
Right.
We know that students probably, as a student, we do not have the amount of money, 27,000 sleeping in some bank account somewhere.
Right.
It can come from one of your parents, one of your uncles, one of your brothers, any of your relatives, or if you have a company that has enough funding and that would commit to support you when you admitted and you travel to Forte State University to pursue your education. They just need to submit that bank statement and a letter stating that they would be financing your studies here at the university, and then our admission office would admit you and then issue the I-20. And the I-20, that's the document that you're showing. That's the document that allows you to actually go to the U.S. Embassy in your home country and get a visa and travel to the United States.
Right. If you're just tuning in, I'm speaking with Dr. Faten. Dr. Faten has a huge experience in being an international student himself, and currently finds himself in a position where, he he forms part of Fort Hays State University, the international admissions team, and he's telling us how you can go about applying to Fort Hays State University. We've shared some of the universities he has been to, have experience at, which you can also write down, and we are delving much into Fort Hays State University that you can apply to. So let us hear from you. Your questions should be in the chat. Just type your questions in there. I'll also share the link so that you can join us in the studio, talk to Dr. Fatin one-on-one if you have any questions. So let's be picking some questions that people have been, sending. So I think you responded to this. Does one need SAT to be admitted into undergrad? Dr. Fatin said no. But no. I want to also ask that, does it impact the scholarship you'll be awarded as an international student?
No, it does not have any impact on the scholarship. As I said, most importantly is for our students, international students, when they get here, to be involved on campus, and also make sure that they have good grades, they go to class, and they're doing well in classes. Those are the things that we consider when we decide to allocate scholarships to students.
All right. Good day to you, Akushika. Thank you for joining. And then one is asking, okay, do you need to get supervisor before applying? Dr. Fatin has responded to that. All right, let's see if there are more questions. Okay, so somebody is asking a very controversial one. I don't know if you want to talk about it. And I have had opportunity to go through your tweets for some time now. Does, the new administration impact prospective international students in any way?
Well, I would say there's certainly some sort of fear from individuals that are international students, international faculty, international staff. If you've been watching the news, you've seen that the deportation or mass deportation that he's been talking in the campaign trail has effectively started. They are shipping some individuals in their home countries.
Did you say shipping?
Well,
that's interesting.
And they're saying that they are starting with individuals that have some criminal backgrounds, those that have been convicted for some sort of crimes. But I don't think the Trump administration will actually deter individuals from coming to the United States for education purposes. The US is one of the best countries in the world that provide high quality education, in spite of everything, every crazy thing that usually goes on, gun violence, some administrations that tend not to be very welcoming of international students or international population. But I think with some individuals also in his current administration, people like Elon Musk, who came to the United States as international students, have been able to have some sort of positive influence on the current Trump administration. In 2017, 2018, 2020, for example, Trump was totally opposed to H-1B visas. And those who are listening, if you're not familiar with H-1B, that's a visa that actually allows some companies in the United States to hire foreign workers. And usually a lot of international students, once they complete their program, they can stay and work in what is called OPT or academic programs. And then after that, if your company is satisfied by your performance, they can sponsor you and apply for an H-1B, which allows you to stay for an additional 6 years. And that's a pathway to permanent residency and also to citizenship for many foreigners. But from 2017 to 2020 to now, Trump has completely changed his narrative about H-1B. He's now in favor of H-1B. If you've listened to him recently, he's been saying that, we need those skilled workers, and the administration would create avenues for people or companies to be able to hire individuals, foreigners that have some kind of high demand skills to contribute to the U.S. economy. And he's also, that was during the campaign trail, he was meeting with some people in the high-tech industry, California. I think he was in a podcast where he mentioned that if you come to the United States as an international student and graduate from an American institution, you should get automatically a green card.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen, but
Mhm.
you can see that he's changing his position on international education, international
Right.
students in general, because of the individuals that have been able to influence Elon Musk donated more than $100 million towards his campaign, and yeah, he's being influential, I would say, positively in terms of international education. So the bottom line is that I don't think the Trump administration will deter individuals from coming to the United States and getting education here. You should come. You should come. And one good thing about America is that they have solid institutions.
Right.
And usually, just an individual, be it the president of the United States, you cannot just take away some of the things that have been there for so long by a simple signature. So you should not be deterred. If you want to pursue higher education in the United States, you should definitely find ways to come, and I think you should be okay.
One of the major concerns of people who apply to study in the US, normally it's the visa interview. I want to have your perspective on this. First of all, does Fort Hays has some sort of guidance? Because I love the way the admission process is being, there's a tutorial on that. But is there any support, assistance for people who get admission into Fort Hays and when they are preparing for their visa interview?
Well, I would say formally, officially, no, we don't have an official support system to help students go through a visa interview. We do not have that kind of support. But if you reach out to us and you need some type of expedited visa interview, because sometimes the wait time is so long, can be very long. And universities can provide a letter saying that, okay, this individual is admitted to Fort Hays State University and they need to be here to start their classes on time. We can issue that letter, and if you submit it to the U.S. Embassy, you may be able to get an expedited interview instead of waiting so long on the line. But we do not guide how to answer questions, we don't provide that kind of support.
All right, that leads me to my next question. What do you think that the major causes of people getting everything done, admission, maybe their scholarship, the I-20, everything is ready? Why do you think people end up getting denied at the embassy? And I'm speaking from the perspective that you have been to the U.S. Embassy for an interview before, and now in your position, why do you think people get refused? What should they do?
I would say sometimes people go to those interviews without being very well prepared. They don't have much information about their universities. They don't have much information about the city or the state where they're going to study, because those are some basic questions that what is it called? The officer at the embassy would ask. Where are you going for your studies? And why specifically this university? If you do not have, proper answers, detailed enough answers, they might think that you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you want to do, and you're probably just looking for a visa to go and disappear in the United States instead of going to school. And also, sometimes people, I would say do not have enough ties. The U.S. Embassy or visa officers usually pay attention to, they say, the tie that you have with your home country. And well, unfortunately, we know that as young students, you're asking a 20-year-old students or 19-year-old students to have some solid ties in their home countries. And by solid ties, they mean family. Do you have kids? Do you have some businesses, some revenues in your country that would make you return to your home country? And also, they want to be able to see that after your studies in the program, you are planning to return to your home country to contribute.
Yeah.
So do not go to the visa interview and let them have a sense that you are planning to start a life in the United States. Even if that's the case, you do not have to let them know that. Make sure that you convince them that your plan is to come to the United States, get educated, return to your home country, and contribute significantly to some issues that you have identified in your community, things that you want to help address once you get your degree program or your degree from the United States. So yeah, make sure that you know about your university, your program, where it's located. Make sure that you can effectively talk about the things that you plan to do once you complete your degree program.
Awesome. So you travel to a lot of African countries to talk to people about Fort Hays State University. Which countries have you traveled to so far, and do you have any other ones coming up that you want people to know about?
Yes, I've traveled to Ghana. I've traveled to Nigeria.
When you went to Ghana, which city did
Senegal.
you go to?
I went to University of Ghana.
Oh, okay, in Accra.
Yeah, in Accra.
So in that case, do you speak to people studying at University of Ghana, or anybody you make an announcement so that people can come and meet you and then talk to you in person? Talk to us. What is this event really about? Is it just like speaking to them about Fort Hays State University, or people can apply while you're there? How is it like?
So the goal was to just meet any students. It was just hosted at the University of Ghana in Accra.
Okay.
And students from other universities were invited to also join and learn about Fort Hays State University and how they can apply. And yeah, we help them go through the application procedure. We take their contact information and stay in touch with them. We send them regular emails with the process to get admission into Fort Hays State University. I've also traveled to Senegal. And in Senegal, as I mentioned, we have a partnership with a university called Dunis Africa. So when we travel to Senegal, we meet with students from that university, and we also have high school visits. We go to different high schools, meet with students, and talk about our partnership with the local university there. I've traveled to Cote d'Ivoire or Ivory Coast. We also have a partnership there. I've traveled to Cameroon. We meet with students from universities, different universities, high school students. So yeah, we take trips into different high schools and promote our partnership with universities in those countries and share about Fort Hays State University, answer student questions, and help them apply and get here in Hays.
Yeah, do you have any trip coming up so that people can know that, okay, if Dr. Fatin is coming to my country, maybe I should meet up?
Yes, we do have some trips coming up in February next month. We'll be in Cote d'Ivoire and Senegal. So February, I think 19th through 23rd, we'll be in Dakar. And then from the 24th to 26th, we'll be in Abidjan in Cote d'Ivoire. Ghana is not on the book for now, but we're working on it. I'm working with Samuel actually on a plan, to actually invest more time in Ghana specifically and Nigeria, because we know that a lot of Ghanaian students are applying to universities in the United States. I would say it's one of the fastest growing African countries to send, international students to the United States. So we're going to dedicate more time to Ghana, Nigeria, and Kenya as well.
Right. So anytime you want to make a trip, just let me know. I will definitely post it on my platform so that, and it'll encourage people to join as well. So I've been speaking with Dr. Fatin from Fort Hays State University. I've enjoyed the conversation I love the fact that your background, so you really relate with the situation back home and you understand the system. And so it makes it easier. Let's see, we've done about an hour. I don't know if you want us to go on. But if not, then we take our final words and then we see how people can get in touch with you or how they can get in touch to apply to Fort Hays State University?
Well, if they have some questions, if the people in the audience have questions, I would be happy to answer the questions.
This one is asking if you have partners in Nigeria.
Unfortunately, so far we don't have any partnership in Nigeria. But as I said, we are developing a plan, and the plan is to spend more time in Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya,
Right.
and if is it missionary? If missionary support has some connections in Nigeria or wants to connect with us, feel free to reach out, and we're definitely interested in having a partner in Nigeria, in Ghana, in Kenya, and so on and so forth. So yeah, reach out, missionary, and we can work on that.
Okay, so based on your experience and then your current position, let's see if you can offer some advice to this my sister Abaya or says my degree was in Bachelor of Education in Business Education. Bachelor of Education in Business with a maybe accounting option. Please help me as to which master's program I can pursue at Fort Hays State University. Currently, she is a teacher at a basic school, facilitator for the past 20 years. Wow. All right. Any suggestions for her?
Well, I would say that depends on your interests in terms of careers. What do you want to do, Ose? If you want to continue being a teacher, we do have some strong educational program here. If you're interested in moving into the business industry, it won't hurt you to go for an MBA. We do have different options also in our MBA program. You can have a concentration in accounting. You can do an MBA in international business and economics. You can do an MBA in human resource management. You can do an MBA in marketing, and so on and so forth. So yeah, we do have different options. But as I said, it depends on what you want to do career-wise, and you make the choice.
Awesome. So if you're just joining us, I've shared the link on the various social media platforms, so you can click on it and join us live in the studio if you have specific questions for Dr. Fatin, so that he can respond to them as well. And then we spoke about the visa interview. So actually, our team has a partnership with Argo Visa. Argo Visa is a team of former visa officers. And, I think maybe Fort Hays should probably connect with them. So they're a team of former visa officers who actually
how do you spell that? Argo.
Yeah, I'm going to share their website.
Okay.
So this is Argo Visa, is a team of former visa officers, and our team has a connection with them. So they assist people to prepare for their visa interview, and sometimes they can also have collaboration with schools that have international students preparing for the visa interview to join them. So this is the website of Argo Visa, and if you are preparing for any category of visa, and most importantly F1 student visa, you should schedule an appointment with Argo Visa. So I'm going to share the link you can use to schedule an appointment with Argo Visa on the screen shortly. And then you can talk to them. Make sure you talk to the experts. These are people who used to work as, okay, I think I'm sharing the wrong thing. Okay, let me see. This is a one-man production, right? So I do everything on my own. So I'm trying to see if I can navigate things at the same time. All right. Let's see what I can do. Okay, I have to stop scrolling. Okay, so this is the link to schedule an appointment with Argo Visa, so that they go through your documents, your DS-160 application. They would organize a one-on-one session with you. They know if you've ever been denied, they understand the reason why a colleague visa officer will deny you, and so they let you know what you can do to improve your chances of getting your visa approved. Use the link I'm sharing on the screen to schedule a one-on-one conversation with Argo Visa. Remember that the link to schedule is on the screen. Just write it, type it into your browser, and then you can connect with Argo Visa to schedule a one-on-one meeting. All right. So let's see if we have other questions for you before we move on. Does Fort Hays pursue areas in science education? Would you want to respond to this?
Science education, I would say yes, we do have different science education programs. But if Asante can be more specific, I would be happy to provide more details as well.
All
What
right.
specific program are you interested in, Asante?
Yeah, Mr. Asante, if you have any specific program you're interested in, you can let us know so that Okay, so missionary responded to your question. He said, "Yes, I'm based in Nigeria and would love to work with you from here." So how do people get in touch with you? I know your email is already on the Fortes University website, which I'm going to share very soon. So let's see. Okay, so this is the picture and then the email address of Dr. Fatin. This is how you can get in touch with him as well. Are phone calls also allowed?
Yes, if they want to make phone calls, that's my office phone number. If
Right.
they want to, yeah, they can make phone calls. They can also reach out to me via LinkedIn. If what the platform that they're using, I'm available on LinkedIn as well to answer the questions.
Right. If somebody is relocating from Africa for the first time to some place like, Fort Hays State University, is there any arrangement for airport pickup, temporary accommodation? And generally, how do you think you were able to survive in the system, like fit in the system, talking about the difference in accent, the weather, stuff like what made it easy for you to survive in the system? What advice can you give to a new person coming?
Yeah, that's a very good, or those are very good questions. And Fort Hays State University, yes, we do provide airport pickup to all of our international students.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you land in Hays. We have, a truck that will come and get you from the airport and drop you in your apartment, be it on campus or off campus. For our undergraduate students, we do encourage them to stay on campus because they have access to everything. Classes are
Right.
at walking distances, everything. Library do have restaurants on campus and so on and so forth. Health, everything basically is available on campus. And you don't have to worry about electricity bills,
Yeah.
trash bills, internet bills, and so on and so forth. All those things are included in your campus apartment option. But if you choose to live off campus, then you definitely have to find ways to travel from your apartment off campus to classes on campus. And public transportation in Hays is not the best. As I said, it's a small community.
Right.
If you can afford to buy a used car, that could be helpful if you're coming as a graduate student who wants to stay off campus with your family and so on and so forth. That option is available to you. Now, going back to your question about how to be able to navigate the system and feel like you too belong here.
Yeah.
I would say is based on your involvement in the community on campus. That's what I was saying earlier. Do not come and be the type of student who spend all of their time in their apartment. Get
Yeah.
out there, get out of your comfort zone. Yes, it's difficult. The accent, sometimes you meet people, they talk very fast. You won't understand. As I said, I have a bachelor in English from the University of Ouagadougou. But when I first came to the United States, I was like, wow, did I really study English? Because people would talk so fast that I wouldn't understand that much of
Yeah.
what they were saying.
Even in class.
Yes, even in class.
Yeah.
And it's more difficult with your classmates. I would say faculty members typically would understand that they need to,
Take your
slow down
time.
a little bit the pace and make sure that everybody understands what they're saying. But if you engage in classroom activities with your classmates, they don't care. They're not teachers. They speak as they speak with their friends, and like, wow. I was like, did I really study English in Burkina Faso? But yeah, that should not discourage you. And also, we have different accents, and sometimes you don't be surprised to see people ask you to repeat what you're saying. They're not being funny or not being jerks. They just don't get your accent. And also make sure that you try to adjust a little bit your accent to make it more understandable. And do not be afraid to interact with people in spite of all those difficulties that you would encounter. Because one thing that we as Africans are usually proud of, or should be proud of, is that at least English is not our first language. For me, from Burkina Faso, it's not my first language. It's not even my second language. I speak 6 languages, and I should be proud of that. If I can manage to have some sort of conversation with somebody in English, in a broken English, I should be a little bit happy of that. So do not be afraid to get out of your comfort zone and interact with people, and be patient with yourself. Have some grace on yourself. Give you time to improve your language skills, your communication skills with the individuals you meet. Get out there, do some volunteer work, get involved in the community. There are hundreds of nonprofit organizations. And as I was mentioning earlier, typically universities would pay attention to your involvement with all those stuff. Have you done some volunteer work? They take that seriously. That's how you get scholarships. That's how you get jobs. Are you involved on campus events? Do you have some leadership roles? So yeah, get out there, interact with people. That's how you navigate the system. You have the right information, you meet the right people, and it's all about having the right information. If you're staying in your corner, you won't have the information. You won't know how to get by, how to get to feel like you too belong, and where the resources are. They're not coming to find you in your apartments or at the library. You have to get out there in the community, on campus, meet people, go to events. That's how you get involved, and you make the right connections that could be helpful.
I've personally enjoyed this conversation. It's interesting to have somebody, who is very experienced in the process, both at the application and at the administrative section as well. Knowing what you know now, what would you have done differently? Assuming you're supposed to be in, Burkina now, and starting the whole application, talking to the younger Dr. Fatin, what would you have done differently?
I would say to the people who are listening to us from Ghana, Burkina Faso, Nigeria, Senegal, Cote d'Ivoire, everywhere in the world, make sure that you are also involved in your local communities there. Do not just focus on going to school. There are different organizations in your communities, different NGOs. Take some leadership roles. It makes it easy for you to get admission into American universities, because one thing maybe we should talk about is that American universities rely heavily on their alumni to raise funds and operate their institutions. And they want to see in you that you have some leadership potential. You have some potential to have some big impact in your community. And that starts at a very young age. As a student, as a high school student or a university student in your home country, if you have some leadership roles in some NGOs, that tells the university that if we invest in that individual, they could have some return on investment in the long run for the university. They would be proud, for example, to say that Samuel, who is now the Minister of Education or Information System in Ghana, was a former student of Fort Hays State University. So be involved in your community. When you come here, it makes it easy for you to secure scholarships, and it makes it easy for you to continue building your profile, your network. That would definitely be helpful in the long run.
All right. So it's been a great conversation with Dr. Fatin, and I really appreciate your time. And of course, if there's an opportunity for application fee waiver, I'll be happy to hear from you so that I could share it with our audience, and then they can apply to Fort Hays State University. But of course, don't let the application fee scare you. $50. It's a good investment to make into your education. Please do that. All right. So we are ending the conversation here. I appreciate you, Dr. Fatin. Any final words to anybody who tuned in today, and then we'll bring it to a close? Dr. Fatin, your final words to anybody who tuned in.
Oh, okay. So thank you so much for everybody who was able to join us. And I look forward to welcoming you here at Fort Hays State University. And feel free to reach out to me via email, or you can also connect with me on LinkedIn, and we can continue the conversation if you're interested in coming to Fort Hays State University. As I mentioned, be involved in your community, have some leadership roles in different organizations. You can also start your own organization. Do not be afraid to start somewhere and then travel to the United States, get the best quality education, and go back and have some influence or impact in your community. Thank you so much. And yeah, I'll be happy to continue the conversation with you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Faxon. We spoke about Fort Hays State University, and of course, we spoke about a lot of other universities. And thank you for joining us if you tuned in. Shout outs to my brother, Samuel Amwatin. He is originally from Ghana, but currently a graduate student and then a graduate assistant on a scholarship at Fort Hays State University. He made this happen. I appreciate him so much. All right, so this is the biggest study abroad content platform. My name is The Fred Effect. What we do on this platform is to focus on the positive side of life. We know it might be challenging, we know it might be difficult, but it is possible you can do it. Myself and Samuel studying abroad are not bigger than you. We have gotten the opportunity to do it. What we do on this platform is to show you how you can also do it. And I appreciate the fact that Dr. Fatin, who is an admissions, inside administrative side, having gone through the process, was here to share his experience and where he is now and how you can apply to Fort Hays State University. We do this and every weekend. Tell somebody to tell somebody that if you want to study abroad, you want to subscribe to the Study Abroad podcast or the Fred Effect platforms, and then you'll be okay. All right. Thank you for tuning in. We sign out here. Please be positive and know that everything will be fine. I'll see you next week. Take care of yourself and be great.